So you use the power of the quotient product. This says you distribute. So you're going to put 6 on both the numerator and the denominator. And it's going to look like this, c to the 6 over d to the 6. Because it's like saying I have c to the d times itself 6 times. So I'd have 6 c's on top and 6 d's on bottom. Right? Okay. All right, here. Put the 4 on the numerator and the 4 on the denominator. Now be careful because you have a negative base. Always put it in parentheses over y to the 4th. That's all you can do there. Okay? It's not getting hot and then you all get sleepy in here. Like falling asleep. All right, turn it over. So, now on the back part, we're going to use properties of the exponents. Oh, but wait, we're combining what you learned in 8.1 with 8.2. So we've got a bunch of stuff to think about in each problem here. Not a bunch, but there might be more than one thing to do. So here we have this whole fraction to the 3rd power. So the first thing I'm going to do is split the fraction up, just like we did here. We took and put the 6 on both the numerator and the denominator. I'm going to do the same thing here. 3a to the 4th, all of that to the 3rd, and 5b to the 3rd. So I put that 3 on both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, well, this brings me to what I did yesterday. What can I do now? What should I do to the numerator? I should put the 3 on both of those things. Just like yesterday's stuff. So now that would give me 3 to the 3rd, a to the what? 12th. That's the numerator. Got to do the same thing in the denominator. So now I have 5 to the 3rd, b to the 3rd. Okay, I could do 3 to the 3rd, which is 27, but I don't have to. I could do 5 cubed, which is 125. But you don't need to do that. Are these different bases? So I can't do anything else. I can't subtract those because A and B is different. So that's going to be my final answer right there. Okay. Okay, now I got a fraction, all of it raised to the 7th, and this one is not. This one, notice that there's no parentheses. No parentheses, so don't distribute that 8. It's only on the x. It just stays like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this 7 and put it on both the numerator and the denominator and then split that fraction up. So I have x to the 12th over y to the 7th times 1 over 3x to the 8th. Yeah.
How'd you get x to the 12th?
X to the 21st, a little dyslexia going on there. X to the 21st, 7 times 3. All right, so now I have a fraction. I'm going to multiply straight across, and I get x to the 21st over, you ready? I'm going to put the 3 in front because this is all multiply. Doesn't matter what order I do it in. It's just the proper way of writing it. Are we done? No, we got a little something we got to do. What's that? Look it. There's x's in the numerator and x's in the denominator. There's 21 of them up here and 8 down here. So if I subtract those exponents, I'm going to have how many left? 21 minus 8 is what? Come on. No, 21 minus 8. Does anybody know? 13. Do I put x to the 13 in the numerator, or do I put it in the denominator? Where are there 13 left over? On the top. So I'm going to take care of these two. And I have, when I cancel out or subtract, I have 13 left on top in the numerator and then I have 3y to the 7th in the denominator, and I'm done. I can't go any further. Okay? All right, let's do a couple more. This one stays the same. There's no parentheses there, so I'm just going to leave that the same. And I'm going to multiply it by this and that. I have to distribute that 3 to both the numerator and the denominator. So I have m to the 12th on top and n to the 6th in the denominator for that fraction. Gentlemen? Okay, multiplying fractions, I just go straight across. Let's combine them and put them as one fraction, 3m to the 12th over 8m to the 5th, n to the 6th. Am I done? Got to take care of the what? The m's. There's 12 m's on top, 5 on bottom. If I subtract, how many do I have left?
7.
And where do they go? Yeah, because there's 7 left on top. Okay, this becomes important little and then tomorrow or the 8.3.
So do you just leave the 8?
Yep. But let's ask. Now you're done. Now we've written this. This is what you always need to check. Can I reduce that fraction? 3 over 8. Can that be reduced? No. So it stays that way. But if it could be reduced, then you have to reduce it. Okay. All right, so that's your answer. Oh, let's do the grand finale. Are you ready? It's a doozy. All right, what would you do first? Yeah, the 2 goes on the whole numerator. Every single thing. I'm going to skip that one step. I'm going to say, okay, I know the 2 goes on everything in that numerator. So my new numerator here is going to be 2 squared, m to the 10th, n squared. And I have to do what? The 2 has to go on everything on the bottom as well. So on the bottom, I'm going to have 4 squared m to the 4th. So I took that 2 and distributed it to everything. You do the same thing with this fraction. M squared n to the 8th, 2 times 4, over 5 squared n squared. Okay, I have a fraction times a fraction, so since it's all multiply, it really just becomes one big fraction, right? Do you see that? It's just one big fraction, this times this, just one big fraction. So I'm going to make the numerator kind of pretty. Let's look at the numerator. What's 2 squared? So I'm going to write 4 down. M to the 10th, I have another m here. M to the 10th times m squared is actually how many m's? M to the 12th. This is still my numerator I'm working with. Okay, I have n squared times n to the 8th. How many n's is that? N to the 10. So that's my numerator. Now I'm going to just stop and look at my denominator real quick. These are both numbers, aren't they? And I can do that in my head. So I'm just going to do 4 squared is 16 times 25. Could you multiply it out right away? Sure. But let's see what happens when we do this. And then on there I have m to the 4th times n squared. Okay. Now I'm closer. I'm almost done. Let's stop and say, wait a minute, look at this. 4 over 16. Can that be reduced to what? 1/4, right? So I'm going to write a new fraction. I'm going to say 1/4. That takes care of those two. I still have the 25, so I'm going to write that there. Then I look at the m's. M to the 12th divided by m to the 4th leaves me with what? Where would that go, on the top or the bottom? Because there'd be 8 left over on top, right? So m to the 8th on top. And then n to the 10th divided by n squared is n to the 8th also on top. Now, we're just going to finish this. Is the 1 relevant here in a multiplication? Do I need to write the 1? No. But my numerator is going to be m to the 8th, n to the 8th. And what's my denominator going to be? 100. If you're doing this on your own, you maybe don't have to go through all the steps I did. I just did it for teaching purposes. But just be careful not to make mistakes, okay? All right.